In the boundless expanse of the ocean, a pod of killer whales glides through the waves. These majestic creatures, known as orcas, are the rulers of the sea, revered for their intelligence and strength. Today, we embark on a journey to explore the lives of killer whales, contrasting their natural behavior in the wild with their existence in captivity. In the wild, orcas thrive in the vastness of the ocean. Here, they exhibit complex hunting strategies, unique to each pod. In the chilly waters of Antarctica, some orcas have mastered the art of wave washing, skillfully creating waves to knock seals off its floes. Their social interactions are equally fascinating. Orcas live in tightly knit family groups led by matriarchs. These families communicate with distinctive calls, forming a language that's as complex as it is beautiful. But what happens when these creatures are confined to the limited space of an aquarium? In captivity, the vast ocean is replaced by pools that, to these giants, feel no larger than a bathtub. Here, the natural behaviors of orcas are often suppressed. Their hunting skills lie dormant, replaced by choreographed routines for entertainment. The intricate social structures of the wild are lost, as captive orcas are often grouped arbitrarily. In the wild, orcas choose their companions. In captivity, these choices are made for them, which can lead to stress and aggression. Migration, a key aspect of orca life, is non-existent in captivity. In the wild, these creatures travel vast distances, a journey essential for their physical and mental well-being. These journeys are not just about movement. They're about culture, learning, and the passage of knowledge from one generation to the next. As we witness the stark contrast between the free-roaming orcas and those in captivity, we begin to understand the true essence of these magnificent creatures. Now let's dive deeper into the impact of captivity on the physical and mental health of killer whales. In the wild, the physical prowess of killer whales is undeniable. Their dorsal fins, towering and straight, are a testament to their strength and vitality. But in captivity, a striking change occurs. Many captive orcas exhibit a condition known as dorsal fin collapse, a phenomenon rarely seen in the wild. This bending of the fin can be a sign of poor health, often linked to a lack of exercise and unnatural water composition. Dorsal fin collapse can be symptomatic of deeper health issues in captive orcas. It's not just a physical deformity, it reflects the unnatural conditions they're living in. The impact of captivity extends beyond physical health. The mental well-being of these intelligent beings is profoundly affected. In the confines of their enclosures, orcas often display signs of stress and frustration. Behaviors like repetitive swimming patterns, head bobbing, and gnawing on tank walls are common. These are not behaviors seen in the wild. In their natural habitat, orcas engage in a variety of stimulating activities: hunting, socializing, exploring. But in captivity, these natural behaviors are restricted, leading to psychological distress. The aggression sometimes seen in captive orcas is rare in the wild. This aggression can be directed towards other orcas or, tragically, towards humans. The mental strain of captivity can lead to abnormal and aggressive behavior in orcas. It's a stark contrast to their generally peaceful demeanor in the wild. The physical and mental toll of captivity on killer whales is a sobering reminder of the vast differences between their lives in the wild and in marine parks. Next, let's explore how the lifespan of killer whales differs in the wild compared to those in captivity. In the open ocean, a killer whale can live a long and fulfilling life. But how does this compare to the lifespan of those in captivity? Studies reveal a stark contrast. In the wild, female orcas can live up to 90 years, with males reaching around 60. However, in captivity, their lifespan is significantly reduced. In marine parks, the average lifespan of orcas is considerably shorter. Most captive orcas rarely live beyond 30 years. This disparity raises critical questions about the impact of captivity on their longevity. The reduced lifespan of captive orcas is a clear indicator of the stress and health issues they face in a confined environment. It's a far cry from their natural life expectancy in the ocean. The reasons behind this discrepancy are multifaceted. In captivity, orcas face numerous health challenges, including chronic diseases, dental problems from biting on metal gates, and the psychological stress of confinement. In the wild, orcas swim up to 100 miles a day, diving deep and exploring diverse environments. This natural behavior is crucial not just for their physical health, but also for their mental well-being. Contrast this with the limited space of a marine park tank, where such exercise is impossible. The lack of physical activity and environmental enrichment takes a toll on their health and lifespan. The evidence is clear. The life of a killer whale in the wild is vastly different from that of one in captivity, not just in quality, but in the number of years they get to experience. Now, let's delve into the importance of space and movement for these magnificent creatures. Imagine the vastness of the ocean, a boundless playground for killer whales. Here they traverse large territories, a crucial aspect of their natural life. In the wild, orcas travel up to 100 miles a day, exploring diverse habitats, from coastal shallows to the deep blue. This freedom of movement is essential for their physical health and social dynamics. Now, picture the stark contrast of life in captivity. Here, orcas are confined to tanks that, in comparison to the ocean, are no more than a drop in the bucket. These tanks are mere fractions of the size of their natural range. In such confined spaces, the orca's ability to swim long distances, dive deep, and engage in natural behaviors is severely limited. In the wild, movement is a part of orcas' everyday life. It's essential for their hunting, social interaction, and even their sensory perception. In captivity, the lack of space and natural stimuli leads to a diminished quality of life. The limited space in captivity not only affects their physical abilities, but also impacts their mental health. The inability to perform natural behaviors can lead to frustration and stress, often seen in captive orcas. These repetitive patterns are a stark contrast to the dynamic, explorative movement seen in the wild. They are a sign of an environment that fails to meet the orca's basic needs for space and stimulation. In the ocean, every swim is a new adventure, a chance to explore, to hunt, to socialize. But in captivity, these opportunities are lost, replaced by the unchanging walls of a tank. Next, let's explore the intricate social structures and family bonds of killer whales in their natural habitat and how these are affected by captivity. In the vastness of the ocean, killer whales are not just solitary giants. They are deeply social beings, living in complex matriarchal societies. Each pod has its own unique culture, passed down through generations. These family groups are bound by strong ties, with members communicating through a sophisticated language of clicks, whistles, and body language. In the wild, orca pods have intricate social structures. They share hunting techniques, nurture their young, and support each other. These bonds are vital for their survival and well-being. Now let's turn our gaze to the life of orcas in captivity. Here, the natural social fabric is often unraveled. In marine parks, orcas are frequently separated from their familial pods and placed with unrelated individuals. This forced cohabitation can lead to tension and conflict as the delicate balance of their social structures is disrupted. Unlike their wild counterparts, captive orcas cannot escape conflicts or establish natural hierarchies. This can result in aggression, a behavior seldom seen in the wild. The disruption of natural social structures in captivity can have profound effects on orcas. It impacts their behavior, stress levels, and overall health. The loss of these deep-rooted bonds and the inability to engage in natural social behaviors highlight a significant aspect of what is missing in the lives of captive orcas. Especially heartbreaking is the separation of mothers and calves, a practice that goes against the very essence of Orca. Societies where family bonds are cherished and maintained for life. Moving on, let's delve into the dietary habits of killer whales in the wild and contrast them with the feeding practices in captivity. In the wild, the diet of killer whales is as varied as the ocean itself. These apex predators adapt their hunting strategies to the bounty of their habitat, ensuring a diverse and balanced diet. Some pods specialize in fish, while others may hunt seals, sea lions, and even larger marine mammals. This not only provides them with necessary nutrients, but also stimulates their mental and physical abilities. Contrast this with the life of a captive orca. Here, their diet is far from varied. It typically consists of a steady supply of frozen fish, often lacking in the nutritional complexity of their natural prey. The diet in captivity, while nutritionally adequate, doesn't offer the variety or the enrichment of hunting in the wild. This can affect not just their physical health, but also their mental engagement. In the wild, the act of hunting is about more than just eating. It's a social activity, a skill passed down through generations, and a crucial part of their cultural identity. In captivity, feeding is often linked to training and performance. This can lead to an unnatural relationship with food, where it becomes a tool for behavior modification rather than a natural part of their daily life. The lack of natural hunting behaviors in captivity can lead to boredom and frustration. In the wild, the chase and capture of prey are mentally stimulating activities that captive orcas are deprived of. This stark difference in diet and feeding practices between the wild and captivity not only impacts the physical health of orcas, but also plays a significant role in their psychological well-being. Next, let's explore the world of orca reproduction and offspring survival in the wild, and how these natural processes are affected in captivity. In the ocean's expanse, the birth of an orca calf is a testament to the resilience and strength of these magnificent creatures. In the wild, reproduction follows the rhythms of nature, and the survival of offspring is a communal effort. In the wild, orca calves are nurtured and protected by the entire pod. This support system plays a crucial role in their survival and learning. The calf learns essential life skills through observation and imitation, a process crucial for its development. In captivity, the picture is quite different. Breeding is often controlled and orchestrated by human caretakers. This can lead to calves being born at a younger age of the mother, or at more frequent intervals than in the wild. In captivity, the natural breeding cycle of orcas is often disrupted. This can have implications not only for the health of the mother, but also for the well-being of the calves. The survival rate of orca calves in captivity has been a subject of concern. While improvements have been made, these rates still don't match those in the wild. In some cases, calves are separated from their mothers at a young age, a practice that can have long-lasting effects on their physical and psychological health. This separation denies them the natural learning and bonding process that is essential in their early years. In the wild, the survival of a calf is intricately linked to the knowledge and protection provided by the pod. This communal upbringing is something that cannot be replicated in the confines of captivity. The differences in reproduction and offspring survival between wild and captive orcas highlight the challenges faced by these animals in marine parks. It underscores the importance of natural processes and the role of the family unit in the life of an orca. As we continue, let's examine the role of captivity in the conservation and education of killer whales and the debate surrounding these practices. The debate over keeping killer whales in captivity is multifaceted, with conservation and education at its heart. Let's delve into the arguments on both sides of this critical issue. Proponents of captivity argue that it serves a vital role in conservation. They claim that it raises public awareness about orcas and inspires efforts to protect them in the wild. Seeing these magnificent creatures up close can foster a connection and a desire to protect them. It's an opportunity for education and conservation awareness that's not easily replicated in the wild. Educational programs in marine parks are often cited as a way to teach the public about marine life. These programs aim to provide insights into the biology and behavior of orcas. However, critics of orca captivity present a different perspective. Opponents argue that the conditions of captivity do not accurately represent the true nature of these animals. They contend that observing orcas in artificial environments can lead to misconceptions about their behavior and needs. True conservation is about preserving animals in their natural habitats. While education is important, the welfare of these animals and the accuracy of the information presented are crucial. There's also the argument that the resources spent on maintaining orcas in captivity could be redirected towards protecting them in the wild through habitat conservation and research. Conservation in the wild focuses on creating and maintaining healthy ecosystems, a crucial aspect that captivity cannot address. Advancements in technology, such as virtual reality and immersive documentaries, offer new ways to educate the public about orcas without removing them from their natural environment. The debate between conservation and education in captivity versus the wild, it's a complex issue that challenges us to find a balance between inspiring human connection to these creatures and respecting their right to a life in the wild. Let's now turn our attention to some of the most famous orcas, both in the wild and in captivity, and their stories that have captured the world's attention. Throughout the years, certain orcas have become household names, their stories shedding light on the broader issues of captivity. Let's explore the tales of two such orcas, Tilikum and Kiko. Tilikum, perhaps the most well-known captive orca, spent most of his life in marine parks. His story is a poignant one, marked by tragedy and controversy. Tilikum's story brought to light the psychological impact of captivity on orcas. His involvement in several fatal incidents with trainers raised serious questions about the ethics of keeping these intelligent creatures in confined spaces. Tilikum's life sparked a global debate and led to significant changes in how marine parks operate, including the end of orca breeding programs in some facilities. On the other end of the spectrum is Kiko, the star of the movie Free Willy. His story captured the hearts of millions and ignited a powerful movement. Unlike Tilikum, Kiko became the focus of an ambitious attempt to reintroduce a captive orca back into the wild. This effort was unprecedented and faced numerous challenges. Kiko's release was a groundbreaking endeavor. It highlighted the complexities of reintroducing a captive orca into the wild, but also demonstrated a growing public desire for more humane treatment of these animals. Kiko's journey from captivity to the wild was a bittersweet tale. While he experienced freedom, he never fully integrated into a wild pod. The stories of Tilikum and Kiko have profoundly influenced public perception and policy regarding orca captivity. They have become symbols of both the challenges and the potential for change in how we treat these majestic creatures. As we near the end of our journey, let's examine the current trends in orca captivity and the future prospects for these incredible animals. As we reflect on the stories of orcas like Tilikum and Kiko, it's important to consider the current trends and future prospects for these magnificent creatures, both in captivity and in the wild. In recent years, there has been a significant shift in public opinion and legal frameworks concerning orca captivity. This change is driven by increased awareness of the welfare needs of these intelligent beings. We're seeing more countries and states introducing laws that restrict or ban the breeding and keeping of orcas in captivity. These legal changes are a response to both scientific research and public advocacy. The impact of documentaries and public campaigns has been profound, leading to a growing consensus that orcas, with their complex needs, are not suited to life in confinement. In response, some marine parks are re-evaluating their practices. This includes ending orca breeding programs, enhancing living conditions, and shifting focus towards rescue and rehabilitation efforts. The future of marine parks may lie in immersive and educational experiences that do not involve live orcas. Virtual reality and other technologies offer ways to experience these animals without compromising their well-being. In the wild, conservation efforts are intensifying. Researchers are working to protect orca habitats, understand their complex social structures, and ensure their survival for generations to come. The trend is clear. The era of orcas in captivity is slowly giving way to a new paradigm, one that prioritizes their natural habitat and well-being. Our journey through the world of killer whales, both in the wild and in captivity, reveals a profound truth. These creatures belong to the ocean, to the vastness where they can thrive in their natural glory. Orcas, with their advanced cognitive abilities and intricate social structures, share many qualities with humans. This raises a fundamental question. Is it ethical to confine such sentient beings for entertainment and education? The ethical debate centers around the orcas' right to a natural life. It challenges us to consider their cognitive and emotional capacities and whether our actions align with their well-being. This debate extends beyond orcas to all wildlife in captivity. It asks us to weigh the benefits of human enjoyment and learning against the potential harm to these animals. As we become more aware of the needs and rights of orcas, we must ask ourselves, what is our responsibility towards these magnificent creatures? How do we balance our curiosity and desire for connection with respect for their autonomy? Now, we turn to you, our viewers. Your voice is crucial in this ongoing conversation about the future of orcas in captivity and in the wild. We invite you to participate in our poll. Do you believe orcas should be kept in captivity? Your responses will help gauge public opinion on this vital issue. But your engagement doesn't have to stop there. There are many ways to contribute to the conservation of orcas and their habitats. Consider supporting organizations that work towards orca research and habitat protection. Stay informed about legislation affecting marine life and participate in community efforts to protect our oceans. We also encourage you to share your thoughts and questions in the comments section below. Let's create a dialogue that fosters understanding and action. Together, we can make a difference for the future of orcas and the health of our oceans. Thank you for being a part of this important conversation.